So, are we allowed to think aloud here?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you're allowed to think as aloud as you can.
It's right.
So, Ozzy, I got a question for you because you just recently took on Islam like a week ago. Do you guys know about that?
Yeah,
Did you hear about that? No. Well, so Ozzy took on Islam like a week ago. Like this time last week, maybe? No, like
It was about
Friday.
a week ago.
Yeah, literally a week ago. Right?
It was last Friday.
Last Friday. Yeah.
About a week ago.
A week and 3 days. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
About a
But-
week ago.
I gotta ask you because a lot of people are very interested in your story and people like you's story that
Why?
fine because
I kind of want to just like what made you want to do the transition?
Well, I read the Quran, right? First time I read it, and it just makes sense. It's clear. Everything that I've learned and I keep learning it's just clear. And that's the thing. It's like ever since I've been introduced to Islam, my life has gotten better. In some way, shape, or form, it's gotten better. I've changed. Like my character is changing. Who I am has been changing. What my views are, the way I go about in the world has just been changing. And it all came from reading the Quran and learning about Islam. And I was just like, I'm convinced. And then, Islam, I guess it's people say it's a religion. Like, that's the label. But it's not a religion. It's a way of life. And when you start implementing little, like, facts about, like, just when you start implementing those parts of that way of life into your own life, you start to see changes. And that is what, like, made me, I guess, convert.
Man, I really admire that.
I don't consider it conversion, dude. It's like, it feels right. You know? It's like, it feels right.
and you come from what background?
Catholic, technically.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I gotta ask you, like, what was because you've been on this journey for 3 years now.
A while. And I still consider myself to be
Oh, yeah,
on a
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
It's like, I try to read the Quran every day. I try. I obviously don't. But it's like every time, dude, it will not fail. Like, you will learn something new. Anytime you try to look into what Islam is or to learn about it, guaranteed you will learn something new. If it's not about yourself, it's going to be about history. If it's not about history, it's going to be about science. If it's not about science, it's going to be about the Prophet. Like, dude, it's everything. Like,
And even the subject of it covering everything is covered in the Quran.
yeah, it's like, it's everything, dude. It's everything. And, yeah, it felt right, dude. And I have no regrets, actually. I've been working on praying. And, dude, just, like, doing prayer afterwards, it feels good. And it feels meaningful, too.
It's a state of meditation.
Yeah.
It's a state of meditation that you get to connect with your inner
Dude,
self.
exactly. Not even just yourself, but, like, with God, too. Like, when I'm prostrated, dude, I speak. I can't even say I speak because he's not responding, but I know he hears me, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm prostrated, I tell him everything. Because, like, God is the man who literally, he can't judge you because he knows everything. So it's like, that to me is just like, it's amazing. It's like, I can tell this man anything. I can voice to him anything I want. I can talk to him about anything. I could cry. I could be mad. Like, and it's all good. It will always be all good at the end. Like, that is the best part about it. Like, I don't know. That's the part I love about it.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
it a lot.
it's... I mean, like, dude, like, no disrespect to church. Like, obviously, if you're going to church to worship God, cool. Like, I respect that. But it's like, then I've, like, learned, I'm like, there are certain ways that you should worship God because he... Like, once you start learning about who God is, like,
No,
you
I
realize
understand.
it's like, yeah, it's like...
I mean, like, I personally don't go to church. I mean, I used to. I haven't gone in a while. And
I don't.
I've been reading, whether it's the Quran or the Bible, and I've entered into this stage of meditation You know, I know you guys do it 5 times a day. I do it usually
Try to.
in the morning or at night, depending on when it feels right towards me. And each time I enter that state of meditation, you know, like you said, he doesn't respond back to you like immediately, but like if you really are just aware that once you once you are grateful for the things happening around you, once you allow yourself to heal from any wound that was taking in, and you start to invite all these wonderful blessings coming your way, you see that he responds to you, not like it could be in a dream, because I've had multiple times where he's talked to me and said
That's cool.
multiple things. Like I've seen myself sleeping, and the
Whoa,
night before
really?
I made a prayer and I saw myself sleeping on the bed, and then I heard a voice just go, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay." You know, it's can only be one person, God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could talk to me through you guys. So for me to say something, or for you guys to say something, even without me wanting to, ask or to say it, and you just happen to say it, and it just relates to me in a way that it was deep down internally bothering me. You know what I mean? And you kind of, at that moment, you know he's talking to you, because you stop for a second, you're like, well, you just didn't say that because you were because you just like said it. That there was a meaning behind it, and it stuck with you, and you're just like, that really opened my eyes. It made my ears ring, like it made me listen.
Wow. That's
You know what I
awesome,
mean?
dude. That's awesome.
And like
It kind of reminds me of, I usually find every Friday prayer coincidentally, God hides behind coincidence, or keeps himself anonymous through coincidence. But whenever I'm facing something, whatever the difficulty of the week is, just coincidentally, in that Friday prayer, it always targets exactly what it is that's bothering me, and it usually solves it immediately, like gives me the formula as to how to solve it. And when you talk to him, I mean, usually he responds immediately through your heart, which, like, what I mean by that is, like, you immediately become calm. Your heart becomes calm.
Yeah.
you feel the warmness.
Yeah, you feel the clearness, that your heart feels clear, empty, in a way, of all the things before. And it's such a surreal experience to have a one-on-one that's for real with God, which is like, just like Ozzy was mentioning, where you either cry, you like complain, you're like, listen, like, this is what I'm dealing with right now, this is what's been bothering me for so long, and you just empty yourself out, and it immediately creates this intense relationship between you and him. It's a surreal experience, and not a lot of people do it. And I found that so many people hold themselves back from God from an egotistical point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very odd, like, how your ego can get in the way between you and the truth. The argument of God is the same thing as the argument of anything when one person is wrong. For example, if I tell you that toothpaste is good for your teeth, and you're like, no, it's not, and then we search it up, and it turns out toothpaste is good for your teeth, most people, rather than going, I didn't know that, that's cool, that's a cool new thing I learned, will become defensive. Might even hate you for telling them that, because now you've made them look bad, and the last thing they want to be is wrong. So they don't care what the truth is. If the truth makes them wrong, then they don't want it. And that's such an odd, situation. And like it makes it where it's like, a lot of the times you hear the truth and it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so most people will just be like, this is way too uncomfortable. I don't want to hear this anymore. And so they make themselves stop hearing it. That's the only way for them to feel comfortable again in their own shoes, because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want their soul to hurt. It's odd.
It's crazy you mentioned that. It's that feeling of being uncomfortable. And this comes back to how we started our conversation. It's that feeling of being uncomfortable that then drives you to change into that growth. That's literally how we started this that's exactly it.
But that comfort it has to be accepted. You have to be accepting that discomfort in order for it to let you grow. It's kind of like when you're exercising. The moment you start getting uncomfortable is really when it's starting to work. And if you stop the moment you're uncomfortable, then you're not allowing yourself to grow, even in the gym.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know what's weird is the entire that's what makes you such a, because I look at a lot of, like, even if I look at my family members and I look at the people around me, I don't think that they would have become Muslim if it wasn't for them being born Muslim, right? I think they would be exactly, and that's why I don't judge anyone who's not Muslim, or I don't judge anyone who doesn't believe what I believe, because I believe that the people who are Muslim, a lot of them, if they were born into Christianity or Judaism or any other religion, would strictly follow that and be like, no, I don't want to hear about this Islam thing, and would call Islam terrorism, if not more, right?
Yeah.
And so that mentality, it's just how human beings work, right? And it's kind of like,
it's like changing. You gotta change your program,
right? You gotta be genuinely seeking the truth.
Yep.
You have to be genuinely, no matter how much it hurts, no matter if it goes against what you believe, you want the truth. And that's not, like, even within Muslims themselves, that's not a trait that you find. And so I look at myself and I'm like, would I find Islam without being Muslim? I doubt it. I think my ego and my mind would get in the way, and so, like, that's why stories like you are so mind-blowing to a lot of people that are already in a religion, right? Whether you joined one religion or the other, those people who are within that religion always find your story mind-blowing, because it's a very difficult thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to say, where I'm from and how I was raised. And not how I was raised, but, like, my entire environment that I was raised on is technically wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I read the Quran and then I realized, like, my whole life has kind of been a lie. Straight up, like, I was just like, what? Like, and then you just take away the religion. Like, take away the religion from it and look at it historically. When you see the facts, it's just like, it's the history. And then I'm just like, damn, my whole life has been a lie. Like, it kind of took me back a little bit, but then it's like, I don't know, I made the personal choice,
It's like, you can only stay in one environment for so long until you feel it start to eat you up.
Exactly. I feel like that's exactly, it's like...
And one of the biggest things that, like, I don't know if this happened, like, when you told your parents, you're like, no, I'm gonna... Have you told your parents?
Funny you mentioned that. I have not. And I don't think I'm gonna tell them until I, like, move out and I'm, like, on my own.
Okay.
Same with, like, my family. Like, I've talked to my grandfather about it, but, like, I really haven't told them, like, oh yeah, I converted, because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they would react, and obviously
that's
it's
exactly what I was. I'm glad you said that, because it brings me to my point of, like,
just keep it on there for now.
When you make a positive change to it,
it's fine.
The environment around you is gonna
start changing.
Is gonna want to either it's gonna want to stop you from it, or if they really support you, they really want to see you grow, they'll be like, do that. That's the right choice.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A toxic environment is when you know that who is here now on your doorstep is the right decision, and it's the right path, but they try to stop you because they see the path that you're gonna walk, and that's when the jealousy and all of that comes into it.
Yeah, that's why it's like, I mean, yeah, that's why, like, I say, like, I'm taking the religion out of it, because it seems to me like when I talk about Islam in, like, terms of religion, I don't know why, but it always causes conflict. And I'm not here for the conflict, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want that. And if it's not going to be healthy conflict, I'm not even going to waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, dude, straight up. But, my grandma, for example, like, she knows I'm reading the Quran. I think she might be reading it too. But, like, she loves reading the Bible. She reads the Bible every night.
Face the mic, don't have to face
My bad. She reads the Bible every night. And ever since a kid, I've always loved to talk to her about, you know, Jesus, the Bible, just biblical stories. That's always like a term of discussion we have. And so like recently, you know, I've been reading the Quran. So we have discussions like on that. And like I said, like I haven't told my family I've converted, but I was on FaceTime with my grandma, you know, and she told me, she was like, you know, you've been changing a lot. And I was like, for the better, right? But how have you noticed my change? Like, has it been good? She's like, yeah, it's a good change. And I was like, great. That's all that matters. You know, like,
Yeah, it is.
that's all that matters.
Yeah, and let's go back to it because I don't think the mic picked it up. So why I want to go back to the question Japheth asked you, which is why did you decide to make that change in your life, even if you found it to be drastic?
It's the truth. Like, I just can't deny it. It's the truth. It's what's been working best.
Felt right with you.
It felt right, yeah. And I've seen the changes. I've been seeing the changes. Like, they happen. It's like the first time in my life that there's been noticeable changes that have happened. And it's just like, I'm taken back by that.
Stick on his audio.
You know, like a while ago, I've had problems with depression. Like, I used to be on medication for depression. Same with anxiety. I still get a little anxious here and there. But it's like, a while ago, one thing when I was, you know, first like reading the Quran and starting to build my relationship with God, I still definitely am building it. I was like, God, help me with my anxiety, like help me with my depression. And through time, my depression has pretty much died. Like, I haven't really been bothered. I haven't really been depressed. You know, like there would be days I would wake up and I'd be like, I woke up today, like, damn. You know, now I wake up and I'm like, hey, I woke up today. It's different. It's changed a lot, you know? And the anxiety, it's been getting better too, you know? It's like, you remember I told you about that character change?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been noticing the character change. Like, it's just like, I just keep getting better. I keep growing.
So your old soul has been put to rest, and you have been resurrected.
Maybe.
And that's comes down from having connection with God.
It's building
And
that
it's-
connection. Dude, that's the
There's
thing. I
nothing
think
more
we...
beautiful once you do find that connection, because you know what feels right. Like,
Yeah,
feels it's
man.
in it right.
It's crazy you mentioned that. I think we all, it doesn't matter who you are on this earth, I think we all have an innate connection with God in our hearts. And there's a verse that mentions that. It's like, even if you have a mustard seed worth of like love, I think, or connection with God, a mustard seed, like, dude, we're talking like minimum.
Search up a mustard seed real quick.
It's probably like super tiny, you know what I'm saying? But that little seed, if you keep nurturing it, you keep watering it, you keep fertilizing it, you know what I'm saying? You keep an eye on it, it starts to flourish, it starts to grow. Like, and I've been noticing that, dude. Like, I just, like, right now, you know, like, I'm like, damn, it's kind of like, I'm happy, you know? It's like, I am, you know? And it's like, that's just not something I haven't felt in a long time.
Mhm.
You remember I told you it's like, that, yeah, I think that is the one point
Go on
about
images.
Islam that I really like. Islam has been something that's touched my heart, and I haven't felt that in a long time. Like, it's touched my heart. Like, dude, I'm low-key getting emotional right now, you know? I'm
I
like,
was just about to say, I can feel the vibration.
yeah,
It's
like,
very influential.
dude, no, like, it's touched my heart, and not a lot of things have done that. You know, it's different. It's just different, dude. It's like,